My name is Jenny. Today I'm going to show you part one of how to draw the lines on a photo for the art that's real popular where they cut out the lines of a photo and then they paint it black and attach it to a white background and frame it, and it looks really cool, and it's usually houses or family or animals or maps or whatever. So I believe this is all done the same. I got my Glowforge June 2nd, so I've been learning all of this kind of like a crash course. So I'm going to show you how I do it, and then if you guys know something easier, feel free to shoot me a message, and I will gladly learn a better way how to do something. I'm sorry if I talk a lot. I get nervous and I talk more than I should. So anyway, this is Rayne. She is my 8-year-old pony. She's a problem child, so she doesn't do much work. She's more of a pasture ornament. But she has a lot of character, so I like to draw her a lot for the artwork I do. So first thing, when you load an image, you want to save it. For me, if I keep doing a bunch of errors, Inkscape likes to go ahead and close on me for some random reason, and I'm not exactly sure why it happens that way, but it is a free program, so I just deal with it. There is a way to go through and set autosave, and what autosave does is it saves the photo in the last place that you saved a photo. So if you're always working on the same album, then your autosaves will automatically show up in that album under whatever name it decides to give it. If you didn't give it a name, it's just going to be numbers. I can try to hunt down the instructions on how to do that, but anyway, save often. Every time you do a major line or a change or a setting or whatever, just go ahead and save it, because it's going to crash on you. It just does that. So with the first thing you want to do with after you load an image, after you save, this lock here, if it is open and you go to change the size of your photo, it's going to change the proportion. It's going to let you get it all wonky, and you don't want to do that. So I lock that, and that allows me, when I go like this, it stays as a rectangle. If that is not selected, it lets me change it to a square, and it gets really ugly. So always keep your, and that's with any image. If you're doing a draw and you're editing a draw, it can change that too. So just always keep that lock there. I've got the layers menu open. You find that under layer, and then click layers, and then this menu pops up. And you don't need to rename your image, but if you want to, you can double click on it and give it a new name. It's not really necessary. Another thing you want to do is hit this lock button, and what that does is it prevents me from clicking on it. I can't change that photo in any way, which is good, because when you're drawing on it, you can accidentally attach lines to your image that is not attached to your draw. So it can get really complicated real fast. So make sure that lock is down. Also, you want to change your opacity to at least 50% or less, so that you can see the lines that you put over the picture. And you can change that at any time as long as the image is selected. We're going to add a new layer, so you hit the plus button. I usually just name it draw, you want to make sure it goes on top of your current layer, and click add. And this, now you can, as long as you have the draw on top, you can draw lines on here, and it's not going to be attached to the image. So a couple different ways of drawing lines. And I like to zoom in where I'm drawing so that I can see it better, get a better idea of where I want the line. You can, these two tools here, the Bezier tool, sorry, I don't have the best pronunciation of that. What that does is it lets you just go through and click, and every time you click, you're creating a node. When you want to end your line, you double click and it stops. I'm going to go ahead and change the weight of the line so that I can see it better. So over here under object, you click fill and stroke, and it brings this menu here. You've got fill, you've got stroke. You want to click on the stroke style, and then you've got your width. If you want to, right now the measurement is in pixels or something, and it really doesn't matter for this kind of stuff. But if you want it in inches, you can change it. Whoa, that's 1 inch. Let's see. I think it's usually, no, sorry. That's in pixels. All right, that's better. Okay, so something that's easy to see. So the line, you can see it has a couple not smooth lines. You click on the node tool, and then you click on your line, and it shows you all these nodes. And they're not rounded where you would want them to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to select a couple, and you can only do this with the node tool on, where you draw a box around them, or you can just click on them individually. I'm just going to hit delete, and when I hit delete on that middle one, it adds these handlebars to the other one, and it's trying to make up for where that node was deleted. So I wanted it rounded, so I can look here, I can pull it up, and I can see where I want the line, and then I move this to make sure it's on there. She does have a little lump there. I can take that one and I can delete it, and then the handlebars move up. And if you want handlebars on both sides, you've got these node tools here, and they do different things. This one here, no, maybe I don't have one selected. There we go. Click it twice, it adds a second handle, and then you've got a handlebar on both sides, and there it's a straight line. But what if I don't want it to do that? I can hit this one with the angle on it, and it changes it to a diamond. Then each handlebar has the freedom of doing its own thing. So I can have them both go up if I want to. If I don't want any handlebars on the node, I click it again, it removes the handlebars. So, and if you want these handlebars where it's, if the setting is on one side, it's automatically on the other. Another thing that happens, sometimes I'll click on a node on the handle part, and it will shoot across the whole screen, and then I can't find the node. I usually just end up hitting Control-Z to undo the task, because I don't want to go chasing it down. but you really need to get familiar with how your nodes move and how to move them to get it to where you can get the line to match the background of the image that you're trying to draw. Another cool thing that you can do is if you want this line to go longer, you can just grab it. It should have been over here where the mane stops. And then you notice, okay, it's bridging her back. Well, you can double click on that line and add a node and drag it down. And then you can add handlebars, and you can pull this handlebar over, move that one up, to match the line of the back. And you see here it's bridging a little bit. I can pull this line over and bridge her back. So I don't need a whole bunch of nodes to get a big line with a big circle. So I can go through and delete all these nodes and still almost have the same circle. But she's got this lump here, so I can pull that in or double click and then still pull this one out. But then this line wants to control the other side, so I click on this, and then that lets me move this side up, and then it looks more like what if you click off of it twice, then you don't see the nodes, and you can see the line matches her back pretty well. If you use the pencil tool is a little more freedom, where you don't have to click all the way down the line. Let's see, we'll go do her belly. I just click once here and I hold the mouse button and I just trace and follow her belly. And I didn't do that real well. And then when you let up off the button, you've got your we're on 10. It just lets off. And if we go hit the node tool, you can see there's 100 more nodes here than there was on this line here. So depending on how many nodes you want to go in and delete or add determines what tool you want to use to draw. But I'll go here, and I don't need all of those nodes. So I'll just hit the delete key, and I'll use my handlebars. Sometimes it's hard to find the node that you want to click on because they're clustered together. So you can zoom in and just grab the one you want, delete the ones you don't need. And then that line is there. Same with over here, there's just too many nodes there. But it kind of remembers where the nodes were, so it tries to hold the line and match it up where it thinks you should have it. But look, there's 4 nodes there for that line, and that's really all that's needed. This tool here, I think it's the Calligraphy Tool. This one does the same thing like the pencil does, but it draws 2 lines. And this is actually helpful if you can learn how to use this. But I think it's a lot more nodes to deal with, and but eventually these lines will look like this when we get done. So I just wanted to show what that is capable. Okay, I can't delete it. There we go. I don't really use it because I'm not comfortable with it yet. So after you get your lines all around your image where you want them, what you're going to do to, let me, hold on a second. I have another tracing that I already have started, but I'm going to pull in here. If you have two windows open and you're doing like a couple tracings that you want to merge together, you can get them to this point. You just hit Control-C to cut, open your other window, and hit Control-V to paste it in. Let's see, it looks good about right there. I like a little cartoony look on the main sometimes, so I don't always match up exactly where the lines are. I mean, it's all art. You can do it any way you want. Put a little bit of detail in her face, but if you put too much detail close together, the lines are just going to merge together anyway. Or could. It all, like these two lines here on her back legs, one of them will probably not even be noticed. So to get this, okay, so this is just single lines, and then to get it where it turns into the other, sorry, we got to thicken, we have to make the strokes thicker. Right now, I believe all of these are combined together. Yeah, okay, so now it shows all of the, let me go back to layers and hide this one a little more. So right now, yeah, all the lines are individual. They're not connected together anymore. And I'm actually going to hide that completely. So I want to go in and change the stroke level. I want to make the, however wide you want your lines to show up when you print them is what you need to do here. So whatever, if you want you just got to play around with it to see what looks good for you. Some lines can be thin, like this is a, you know, the eyeball. I'll probably, whoops, not do real thick because of the detail. I don't want to lose the detail in it. And then this one here, another thing to keep in mind is when you're doing these is the lines need to, they need to touch. So I'm just going to take that node and drag it over so it kind of just overlaps. It's not connected in any way. And then I also need to, down here with the nostril, but I can actually go in and make that line thicker. And then the outside line thicker, and they are touching. So you just need to go through and change all your line thicknesses. And if you want to, you can hold your shift key down and you can select multiple lines. Oops, if you want them all the same. This one, I'm going to actually do it thicker on the main. hold the shift key down and you can select more than one. I'm not sure what happened there. Sometimes it doesn't work the way I think it should. That's why I do things the slow way, because I can control what happens. So this line here, it might be alright. Okay. I'm going to go ahead at this time and resave it so that I don't have to go chase it down if things go crazy. So something here that looks funny with the mane, how it cuts off there. On this stroke style, you can go through and you can round off your corners so that they don't look so scary. And then here, how that's cut off on the end, you can hit the rounded cap and it kind of just makes it look more professional in how the line is. I'm not sure. Yeah, with the eyeball, it just kind of rounded that off a bit. So you'll want to do all of this before we go to the next step, just to make sure. Oh, whoops, there's a little line there, I almost forgot. Any of these lines that have the ends showing, I just round the ends off. Oops. Okay. Another thing, when this happens, you see this one sticking out here. I'm just going to grab this node and tuck it back in so that you don't see it. Whoops. So you want to go through at this point and just make sure that anything that looks weird doesn't look weird. The next step is the scary part. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then, oops, you want to start with the select tool. This is, right now, this is the line, is what you see. So you go to path, you go stroke to path. You don't see anything change. But if you go down here and you right click on a color that's different than what you're already working with, and you put set stroke, and then you don't really see it, so I changed the fill color, and you can see the new stroke is actually an outline around the line that was there. So this is how you get it to, the Glowforge is going to cut the dark blue line, and your light blue is going to be what is in the middle. But you've got a bunch of lines here. So you want to go through each one. It's just easier that way because the program lets you, if you try to select all and then do it, you might miss one, and then it lets you do this multiple times to the same line, and then you have 40 layers to go through and delete. It's really, it gets away. So now I've done 2 lines. You can also go through and change the stroke of your line if you are having a hard time to see it on the computer. But you see these 2 lines here, it's like when you merge your union with your font. You click on this one, and then you hold your shift key down to click on the second one. Go to path, go to union, they become one piece. Another thing that happens during this process is these little random dots. You'll see them show up in some of your programs. Oh, how did that line get there? How did that circle get there? I don't know how it gets there, but this is how you find them. I go to the nodes and I click on the node. I just go through and I delete those, and then that is gone. And then I don't have to worry about it again for that one, but you'll find more. So I go to the next line and I hit stroke to path. I change the color of the stroke and the fill. And if I want to change the weight, and then I hit shift, I select my other line and I hit union and I merge those together. And then you just continue around the whole picture doing this. Whoops, I hit fill instead of right clicking. Whoops, I think I did it backwards. Alright, this needs to be fill and this needs to be stroke. Alright. Sorry. Hold the shift key down, hit path, hit union. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and finish this up, and then I'll come back and show you what you can do afterward. Okay, so I got the rest of the pony done. Getting the stroke to path and changing the fill color. I got 2 problems up here that I left for you to, so you can see. Sometimes I get ahead of myself and I don't click on the right command, and I believe here I forgot to hit the stroke to path, so when I changed my colors it just took the outside line of the nostril for the stroke and the inside for the fill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and over here you can see the fill color. You right click on that and remove fill so that it doesn't get confusing. And go to path, stroke to path, and then set fill, and then you can set your stroke, and you can see there that it's correct now. So we're going to go ahead and shift and hold down, select the other one, and do union, and then the nose, or the nostril actually connects to the nose. Up here, the eyeball is not going to, it's going to be free floating when it cuts, and we don't want that if we want it all as one piece. But if you don't mind figuring out where the eyeball sits and gluing that on your surface, that's fine. But if you're doing this for a Christmas ornament and it doesn't have any backing to glue onto, you want to make sure that you're connected. So even if you didn't fix this in one of the steps before, you can go through and still fix it. So we're going to click on the node tool, and then I'm just going to grab a couple nodes here and just kind of bring that down a little bit, and it kind of looks funny right now, but I mean, you can make it work so that it doesn't look so funny. Sometimes when you grab a node, it will attach itself to 3 other nodes. So if that happens, just click off of it and reselect it, and then you can move around with that. So it doesn't look too bad here. I think I may go ahead and delete those 2 so that they're not making it stick out funny. And like we did at first, where you can change the, there's a lot of nodes. You can see it changed and added a lot of nodes where there wasn't a lot before. So you can go through and clean those up if you want to, and if you don't need all of them, you can. I mean, it's a lot of extra work, but if the line flows freely, you can leave them. If you don't like how the line flows, then you can delete them. So then we select these 2. Let's make sure, yep, both are selected. Then we go to path and union, and now they're all one piece. Another problem that I see up here in the forelock is I've got this hole here, and I don't want that hole, because that will cut out. It's unnecessary for this picture. So I just open the node again, and I go in and I delete those, and I don't have to worry about it. This hole here, now that I've deleted that little hole, I can grab these add an extra one there, and make that hole bigger to make up for the one that got deleted. Sometimes it looks better, sometimes it doesn't. This one, I think, yeah. So whenever this handlebar suction cup, I'm not sure what that error says. If you find that happening too much, where the nodes snap to each other, you can hit this tool here and it turns off the snapping tool, and then you don't have to do that. But sometimes it's really great to have those snapping together. So here, I'm not sure why that main is straight across where the rest of them are jagged. So I'm just going to pull that node down so that that one's jagged. Let's see, add 2 handlebars on that one, and it kind of frees it up a little bit. This one here, get rid of that one because it kind of, I don't like the tight squeezes when there's 2 nodes really close together in a crevice, so that's not really necessary. Another thing I saw, oh yeah, right here, where I guess I didn't have the lines match up exactly. So I'm going to go through and delete those nodes so that that line flows a little better. And then the same thing right here. So you can just go through and fix whatever you see, and you can zoom out, look at your picture as a whole. Does it look nice at this size? And then you zoom in, and like this here, there's a little corner. I'm not sure that I like the heavy corner like that, but be careful because it may may change how it works around the others. So that's a little better there, not terrible. This gap actually laid out better than I thought it would. I kind of like how the tail rises up there, but I don't. Oh, look at that. There's a jagged. Like, I like it going out, but I don't need that one. And then this one, I'm just gonna. Oh. Oh, sometimes these handlebars get really funny. After you make your rounds and your lines all look good, there's not any mysterious blobs of nodes hanging out. Make sure you save, and then at this point you can take this and load it into Glowforge, and you can cut it and it will cut it out. You can also use it for engrave. You can also have it score, and it will just score 2 lines around instead of 1. But if you wanted to change how your, I want, like on another photo I did, I made the back legs look like they had shadows. So you can go in the, click the node and go in here, and this inside, sometimes I just pull it in the middle so that I can draw a line around it and delete it if I don't want to delete the outside nodes. Oops. So what that does is that whole leg will be solid when it cuts out. And if you want to change this where the mane and the tail are solid, you can go ahead and do it the same way, or hit the select tool, select your image, and remove the fill, so it's just the outline, and then things don't get lost. And then break apart, and then each line is now its own shape. So I can select the mane there, and I usually like to pull it off to make sure that I actually have that piece and not something else. Okay, so now when I select this and I add the fill, oops, nope, I forgot I have to combine it. While I have this, I can go ahead and take the leg out, the other leg. I did this one the hard way just to show you that you can do it a little bit at a time, but you can take out whole pieces. Let's see, I think I want to take out the nostril as well, and the inside of the eye. Let's see, took out the mane. So, oh, grab the wrong piece. Oh, do it again. Okay. Now, if you notice that you keep hitting the wrong one, hit your end key on your keyboard, and then it sends it to the back of the crowd and lets you select what's on top of it. Okay, so that looks good. And then draw a box around it. go into path, combine, and then add your fill. And then this is now where the solid pieces are, will be solid pieces of wood if you use wood or acrylic, and it will cut out, leave the other legs. So sometimes adding solid pieces hold structure. So if you're doing ornaments and stuff, this is a nice way to add more stability to your outline. That's how I learned how to do this. So if you have any easier ways that you want to add to it, just let me know. If you have any more questions, just send me a message and I'll try to answer it for you. Thank you.